and welcome to another teacher talk session tonight. And tonight we are having another educator from Pakistan, okay, and he is an ELT teacher at Divisional Public School and College, Faisalabad, Mudassar Majeed, Professor Mudassar Majeed, and he's here. Hello, Mudassar, and if you send me request to join, I can accept your invitation. Let me invite you. I accept your invitation. Oh, sorry, your request. Takes time a little bit to join. Okay, just a moment, Mudassar. I'll send you again. Now accept my invitation, please. Thank you, Ali Hocam. Hello.
Hello, how are you, sir?
Can you hear me, Mudassar?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, perfect, perfect.
Uh,
I can hear you. I can hear you clearly, and I'm really happy to see you here. And I would like to say thank you very much for accepting my invitation for teacher talks and being with us tonight. I know that it's a little bit late in Pakistan, but we are really happy that we are doing this session with you, Mudassar. Thank you.
okay, sir. Welcome, sir, and thank you very much, sir, for giving me time for your special event that you used to conduct over here. So I'm really thankful to you, sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And if you're ready, can we start?
Yes, just a bit. Let me.
Sure. When you're ready, just let me know.
Okay,
Okay.
it's good now. Yes, sir.
Wonderful. All right. And let's start then. I know about you, Professor Mudassar, or how do you want me to call you, Professor Mudassar or just Mudassar?
You just can call me Mr. Mudassar, and that is more than enough.
Okay, perfect. All right, Mr. Mudassar. So I know about you, but maybe our audiences would like to know about you. Can you tell about yourself, please, and a bit about your experiences too?
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Sir, as you have introduced myself over there, so I would like to introduce myself. My name is Mudassar Majeed, and I have been teaching at Divisional Public School in College, Faisalabad, for last 7 years. At the same time, in the evening classes, I used to teach at Government College, University, Faisalabad, for 8 years. I joined in that university in 2016, and because I completed my MPhil in English linguistics in 2016, and then later on I joined that university at the end of that year. And this is somehow my academics that most probably I'm associated with the most prestigious two institutions. The first one that is Divisional Public School and College that has a great name. At the same time, especially when you're going to teach at university
Uh-huh.
level, so that has its own charms, instructions. So I just really got it, and I'm really enjoying how to teach and all that, and just learn. I'm on learning stage, but still got a lot of things from my mentors. That's how they used to teach and all that. So I really enjoyed learning and teaching at the same time. So this is
Perfect.
somehow my, because as you told me that I'm having a dual degree. One degree is in MPhil English Linguistics, and there is another one that is MPhil in Media Studies. So in this regard, because I'm also associated with media as well, so
Uh-huh.
it was compulsory to have another degree of a media. So yes, I got it because I'm conducting a TV program in Pakistan, Faisalabad. There is a Rifa International University where I used to conduct that TV program, and where in that program I used to invite most distinguished guests, something like bureaucrats, some of the educationist people, and all that. So especially got it that just share the success stories that how people have been getting through, how the people have made progress, and what was their journey, and how they completed their success and all that. So this is somehow, I just introduced those success stories in front of the people who like to watch those
I
programs.
see.
So this is
Okay.
somehow my ways that I have shared with you.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Mudassar. Okay, so Mr. Mudassar, what was or were your turning point or points in your own education?
So sorry, sir, I could not hear properly. Once again,
And
please.
what was or were your turning point or points in your own education?
Okay. Sir, as I would like to introduce, I haven't told you that my name, as I have completed my MPhil in English linguistics. After the completion of my intermediate, I told my parents that I don't want to study anymore because I just want to join Pakistan Army. So
Oh,
then I went over
nice.
there because I just want to do job. So in this way, I went over there. So spent some time over there in training session, completed 2 or 3 months over there. Then when I thought it's a really tough task when you are going to, getting trainings and you are being trained by the, forces. That time it was a difficult one. So I
Uh-huh.
just called my parents that I just want to come back again in my home, and I promised that I will study for dedicatedly and honestly. So then my parents said it's okay. So if you want to study, so because platform is there for you. Because my parents were educationists, my mother was a government teacher, and my father was a government teacher. Both were headmaster and headmistresses. So that
Wow.
time I just got the inspirations from them that I really enjoyed and liked learning as well. Because at that moment I had a craze to join army. So when I spent some time over there in army, so then I thought studying study was easy than doing some sort of these jobs. So
I
then I
see.
just went back and did my graduation, and then did my master's in English, and then later on MPhil in English linguistics, and then other again MPhil in media studies. So this is somehow my turning journeys that I just that I got it, that from after the completion of intermediate, and then turning toward my MPhil and double MPhil and all that. So this is somehow my turning point that was in 2004, and then came back in 2005 and started to do my graduation. This is my journey, because I just want to tell you that a lot of audience who are associated with you, so they might be just checking this, watching these programs in this context, that how people like to get motivated. So I just got motivated that
I see.
learning and studying and teaching is an easier job than that of those people who are doing jobs in the different fields. So then I feel that it is easier, much
Easy.
easier than that of those jobs which you have to go over there. And I feel that, I personally feel that being a teacher, the teacher must be a natural born teacher. That is not somewhat like if you could not become anything, if you
Uh-huh.
want to become something like engineer, doctor, and any pilot or one. But if you could not get success in those fields, so then you join teaching profession. So that shouldn't be, I feel. So a teacher should be a natural born, and because as I'm just telling you that my both parents, my mother and father, both were government teachers. So I got my inspirations from them, and I thought it is better to join this field instead of any other fields that were over there for me as well. but because that is the most sacred profession, and I really like it. I like this profession, and I like to teach to the students and deliver the knowledge whatever I'm having. So I really enjoyed and learning as well as teaching.
Yeah, I see. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Mudassar, for sharing this, the turning point with us. It's really, the interesting and to listen also. I'm sure that you had a wonderful, memories with it. All right, thank you very much. So there's a comment here from active classroom management is a civilian contact is more difficult than military operation management. He is just saying that to you. Okay, got it. And you have been teaching for a long time. You mentioned you have been teaching for a long time, and I'm sure that in this time you have tried different strategies, different techniques and methodologies in your classes. And I'm sure that you have a philosophy of teaching. So what is it, Mr. Mudassar? What is your philosophy of teaching?
I feel that I joined teaching profession in 2014 or 15, and then when I got first of all, I just sat in front of my parents and asked them that you have spent 35 years in teaching,
Wow.
and how can I teach? How can which type of methods I should adopt, and while teaching I should adopt. They told me that just should be mentally prepared that you are going to teach, and they told me that you have to control the class. Then they told me that there must be a proper discipline. If there is no discipline in your class, so you are no more teacher. So when you are going to teach, so you must have an eye contact with each and every student, so that every student, getting some idea that you are teaching this point and that point. So if you are failed in that and having eye contact with the students, so you are no more over there in that profession. So try to, to be handle the situation. Whether there are 50 students, so you have to tell the stories, because sometimes students get bored when you are teaching someone one thing again and again, and the students sometimes start watching each other that sir all the time teaching and not sharing in memory, and some of the funniest jokes that sometimes the teacher used to adopt some of the techniques. So that it is. So then I thought definitely they told me right thing that you have to control the class, discipline and all that. But sometime when the teacher, when I'm teaching somewhere and writing something on the whiteboard, after teaching consistently 20 minutes or 30 minutes, the student starts getting bored. So that time, what should I do? So then I thought, I most probably I used to ask some of the students that how it is going, whether you are following me. So if you are not, so let's have something other than discuss some of the other things. So sometime I just make some jokes. Okay, so just I'll simply say that. Okay, my dear students, please, who is sitting at the last, please tell me something about yourself. That you're smiling for a while. So please tell me something. Is there any funny thing? So I would also want to laugh, because I'm getting bored as well while teaching you. So in this way, I just getting entertain the students that how they are. But sometimes being a backbencher students, I still remember that when I was a student. Sometimes I used to sit in the company of backbenchers. So they used to make some of the jokes, sometimes some different activities they at the same time they were doing. So just simply say that, I know that what is going on in the last bench. So please tell me something. What is going on? So I just want to know that, because somehow you're also following me. At the same time, you're following something other than that. So would you like to share? Would you like to share it with me? That what is the topic that you're discussing over here? So I would like to
Uh-huh.
discuss. I would like to listen as well. So sometime they told me that, sir, he was saying about this thing, and I was giving the answer of that question in that way, and that it is. Okay, I said that it's natural, because when you are sitting at the last, so definitely all the time teachers can't keep an eye on all the students. Their time of writing on the whiteboard. Meanwhile, you can do some other things. But just tell me that I've been over there where you are right now. So I still remember that after all the time we never do it, but right now we are in that state. you have to follow the things which are over there. When the teacher is teaching, at least you must need to know that what the teacher is teaching. If you forget about that, are totally involved in the activities you are conducting, that discussion that is going on, so you are no more in the class. So just keep an eye. One ear should be toward the teacher and one ear toward your friends who are just having discussion. Whether that discussion is about the topic, whether that discussion is about any matter. So be please do concentrate on me what I am there.
I
So
see.
that time, because I feel that I always try to keep an eye on every individual students. That's why I feel that a role of a teacher is just like an actor.
Uh-huh.
So when a teacher, an actor, he's on the stage. So when any word he mispronounced, it means that his role is ended. He has to pronounce the words as it should be. So that time he is having an eye on each and every individual. So that time, at least try to justify that. Try to go the last words that please have you got my idea that what I'm delivering here. So have you got my, some idea about me? If I'm sorry if I could not deliver, you could not get my point. So I just want to say that please would you like to say me that what the point that why you could not get my point. So I just want to know, just want to, because that might be my deficiency. I just want to, make it better. So that time they simply say, sir, your sound irritates us. So sometimes I said, what sound? Sir, you speak louder. And sometimes your sound is coming till the last. So it's become very difficult for us to talk even. So we are listening, we are talking sometime. So your sound, your echo is just, all the time going till the last. And even though not only this room, but also the next roomers, they can hear you, what you are delivering. So that I said, it's okay, it's natural. Sometimes some of the teachers, they can never teach in a slow tune. So this is my, you may think that it is a negative or whatever you want to say, but I feel that
No, it's
I
okay.
just want to justify it. I just want to justify it. Being a role, I'm performing a role like a teacher, so I have to teach. So this is somehow the activities that I used to perform when I am teaching at, because I teach at Divisional Public School and College, Faisalabad, to the 9th and 10th grade at the same time, first year and second year. So I have to switch suddenly from school to college. So some classes are in school and some classes are, because that is a combined school and college. So then I have to switch on and switch off according to the classrooms. So that's it. So in this way, I feel that the teacher should be vigilant enough. He should be vibrant. He should be
I see.
look like that he's a teacher, not someone like he's teacher. He's just doing paper reading and all the time, and the students are looking toward here and there. And he, after delivering complete lecture, he just departed. That is not justifiable. So I feel that
I
if
see.
you're a teacher, you have to justify that being a role of a good teacher. Yes.
It's wonderful.
Over to
Thank
you.
you very much. Yeah, thank you very much for, the very, very, how can I say, your answer was really impressive. Thank you about that, the philosophy of teaching. What I'm gonna ask you about it. We are educators. Can you hear me clearly now?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, now clear.
we are educators and we have, a lot of stories. Some bad stories and some good stories, some failed and some success stories. And I'm sure that you have a lot of stories in your career. So can you tell us one or maybe two success stories of yours, something inspirational if you have it, of course. But if you say, I can tell you about my failed ones, we can be really happy to listen that them too. But I'm just kidding. Just tell us some, the success stories, but all your choice.
I just want to tell you one thing that is, I never ever thought about that. When I did join teaching career, that time I feel that I should be more hardworking, because that there are some people who all the time they are very intelligent, they are genius, but I am not
Uh-huh.
among them. So I'm just a consistent and a hard worker. So all the time just working for that, and that I just want to learn more and more by doing it, by doing this and doing that, just finding it that how he did it and how I can find it, or those solutions that he has given answers. And sometimes I have to read twice, thrice, and many times. So in this way, sometime I just failed in that state because I could not get properly. So then I realized that I have to do it in different direction. So I still remember when I was doing my master's in English. So that time I just faced one thing that I could not. I just failed in two subjects. So that time because I was teaching in my own institution, I had my own institution over there in my hometown, and that is distance from that city to that city almost 45 kilometer away from that
Ooh.
big city that is the Faisalabad, because basically I belong to Tahsil Samandri, and on a daily basis I used to come from Samandri to Faisalabad. So meanwhile, after studying, I have to go back. Then I teach to the students of graduation and intermediate. I have to cope up. I just simply told my parents that I will bear my own expenses,
Uh-huh.
whatever I am doing. I'm learning. That's it. You have to pay my pieces of my master's in English. So the rest of that, expenses, that I will bear it. And then I start teaching in different academies. So then I thought that I could not pay proper concentration on my master's in English. I start teaching. I was just paying, delivering the lectures to the intermediate and graduation students. Meanwhile, I was doing my master's. So then I realized that I should have to concentrate on one thing, that is, doing my master's. Then I have to
I
quit in the
see.
second semester because I have to do it, wholeheartedly. So then in the second semester again, because I completed it in a good way, but in the third semester and fourth semester again, I joined academy. So then I managed it improperly. That at least because when you start, in that age of being masters, so you can manage. So then that was, failure as well. Success is somewhat like when I did my master's in English, then I just want to take admission at university for my MPhil in English. So I went to the university and said that I just want to do my MPhil. They told me that the classes have begun, and right now you can take admission in the next semester. So that would be done in, I think it's in December. I think December or January. So in that session you can take admissions. Right now you are not more eligible to take admission in MPhil English. So there was free time for me for 6 months or so. There was a general election in my
Mm-hmm.
country, so I contested a general election of provisional election. That was uh, Punjab Assembly, because we have a province Punjab. So I contested election for Punjab Assembly. So for MPA, Member of Parliament,
Nice.
MPA,
Yeah.
and that was somewhat like, from the party of Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. So his leader was Mohsen Pakistan. He's called Mohsen Pakistan. His name was Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan. He was a great scientist who, you might have read about him, Mr. Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan. He was a
No, I
scientist
see.
of Pakistan. Yes, he introduced missile technology in Pakistan. He made Pakistan sixth or seventh atomic power. So that times after his retirement, he launched his own, uh,
I,
uh, you know,
I got it. Mm-hmm.
political party. So then, unfortunately, in Pakistan, so we have a different scenario of being an elector. So that time, so other people got elected. So even though I just made some processions while going to the people, just say that I just want to, I'm contested election. I'm going to contest election from the party of Dr. Bhatti, well, very renowned person. So you should have to cast him vote because he has given a favor to Pakistan. So there are in different villages, different people, in remote areas, people have more toward their task rather than that of a person who
I see.
have done something for Pakistan. In
Mm-hmm.
that way, the person is saying that if whether I lost or win, I will do it for you. I will be available for you. I will do for your, in Pakistan, like if you are arrested in police, so I will be over there to go with you to just for your bail and all that. They told me that, will you go with us for that purpose? So I said that I won't have much time to go with you. So they said, then will have to cast a vote in the favor of that person. So this is somehow, I got some success stories because later on I got my job in
Uh-huh.
2016, and then at 2007 and 2018 I got my job at Divisional Student College, Faisalabad. And in 2016, after the completion of my MPhil, I start doing my job at GC University, Faisalabad. So this is somehow success and some of the failures that I faced just because of lack of concentrations, and later on fully concentration, and still that is going on. That whole thing's still going on. I'm just trying to make it every day better and better. Just working for that. How can I improve myself? Where are some of the deficiencies? How can I cope up? How I can make myself better day by day? What are the deficiencies
Uh-huh.
I'm facing, and how I can make those deficiencies or converted those deficiencies into a successful ways. So this is somehow my thinking that I'm just looking forward to achieve whatever I just want to, because I'm very much optimistic in this regard. Just want to gain more and more. Ambitious as well. Just want to gain the things and just want to gain the success by hook or crook, by any means. Being a and young teachers, you have to go over there to find out the ways that how I can make progress and how I can make my establish myself, because I'm also working over there in my institution as a media in charge. So that I'm lucky enough that I got this position at a very young age, because a lot of people got that type of a designation after the age of 50 plus, but I just got it in the age of 40, so somewhere like this. So this is somehow. So can you hear me?
Of course, definitely. I clearly. Don't worry.
Okay. So this is somehow. So this is somehow about about me that I'm just telling you, so you can get some idea that which types of phases I have faced in my life.
Wow. Well, that's really, I'm impressed about your story that and you share with us here. Really, Mr. Mudassar. Thank you. Thank you very much. What I wanna say that, that as a next question, we have, I mean, you probably in your career you have, to try and used a lot of activities with your students, different activities. Can you tell us maybe one or two activities that you like to use for your classes? If you have something special or secrets you have, you can tell us.
Okay, the different activities that sometime I just used to ask that please share some of the verses, being some of the poetry, some of the things, some of the funny things, if you want to, because sometimes the students start getting bored. So that time, students, in this way, just want to conduct that activity. So would you like to tell me something about you? Just want to learn something about you. If you would like to share, that is just for the sake of encouragement. I just ask every individual, please stand up and share some of the things, because
Uh-huh.
sometimes students start getting bored from listening one sound again and again. So in this way, I just want to invite one of the students who is sitting behind. Just please come over here on the rostrum and speak something about this. Deliver a lecture, just like I deliver a lecture today. So then I just want to listen to you. I just want to listen about you. That how's your life going on? So sometimes just I used to invite the students that please come over here on the rostrum and speak something about and tell something funny or sad story. If you have any funny or any sad story, so please share with us. So because we just want to learn. We just want to learn from you that what is your life going on. Even though you are student, but you might have faced something in your life. So that time, uh, situation going on, and sometimes we just face some difficult situation. That how we can handle that situation. That's it. But activities that sometimes I just telling you that because in the class you can't allow the students to overpower you,
I
because
see.
you are how much friendly you are, but you never allow your students to overpower you. When you start, when you give too much relax to them on just trying to become too much friendly with them, so definitely there is no doctor in the class. Then definitely students start thinking that he is just simple. He's nothing more than that. He's not having educates.
Mm-hmm.
So in this way, these are the different things that I'm just telling you that how the people, how to engage the class along with doing different types of activities. Like I'm just telling you that how start making some funny things, and sometimes just try to make some funny speeches, and sometimes any any debate on such different topics.
I
Suppose
see.
that who
Mm-hmm.
are more intelligent, boys or girls. So in this way, so they are. This is an activity, something like a declamation. So in this way, um, so in this way, I feel that I'll always try to make it better and better. So that's it. So this is somehow about me that I'm
I
just telling.
see. Thank you very much, Mr. Mudassar, really. And the story, the activity also is really nice to use with your students, and really, I'm really, the feeling great to listen that story and the activity with from you. Thank you very much. And what I wanna ask you again, another, you are working at the University of, you just where do you work right now?
I'm just telling you that I also have been teaching at GC University Faisalabad in English department. So where I have been
Perfect.
teaching,
So,
uh,
mm-hmm.
yes. So where I've been teaching different classes of BS, the different departments I used to teach. So then I, do what I just used to teach different classes. I because being a teacher, spending 8 years over there at university, so definitely got a lot of exposure to teach to the students. So definitely I got a great exposure to teach at university level. So that's
Great.
a great outcome. So when
Mm-hmm.
I've been still teaching over there, I'm also working as a trainer over there at Government College for Women University Faisalabad, where I gave them a trainings of media ethics. That what are the media ethics and what are the control room dynamics. That how you can make them that use of media. At the same time, how you can just guide them how to make vlogs and all that. So this is somehow my association, not only with one thing but also one institution, but also in the different institutions. So this is my
I
I'm just
see.
telling you the broader perspective. I'm just telling you all about that. That at Divisional Public School and College Faisalabad, at GC University Faisalabad, at Government College University, Women University Faisalabad, as well as at RIFA International University Faisalabad, where I used to conduct activity programs and all that. So this is, and I'm also working at British training system, where I'm taking my spoken English class. So I'm teaching my spoken English class over there in that institution from 4 to 6. So I'm also running my own organization. So these are the different multiple
Okay.
things that I'm taking those things along with me. So
Okay.
this is somehow.
You are giving us a lot of information about the place where you work right now and the things you are doing it. But what I want to ask you that, what makes special of the your university language system than other systems? What makes it special?
In perspective of language,
Yeah. Yes, language education, you can say. The language
okay.
system that you're teaching there.
Yes,
What makes it
yes,
special?
yes, I got it. Yes, definitely. But because in English, we always deal at as a second language, and not only second language in Pakistan. That is, I feel that a third language, in which
Uh-huh.
because in Pakistan, so when we are living in Punjab, so we have to learn Punjabi language first at my in
Uh-huh.
my home. So when we grow up, when we start schooling, so we have to learn Urdu language.
I
So because
see.
when we are at age of 10 or 12, so we have to learn Urdu language. And when we are somewhat like 15 to 16 years, so some 14 or 15 years, then we have to study all those subjects in English language. So this is somehow for the Pakistani students. So there are a lot of problems on them that they have to learn three languages at the same time, not at the same time, from the different perspectives. Like as the beginners, they are learning Punjabi, and when they start schooling, they learn in Urdu language. And when they are at higher school, so they have to learn in English language. So when I used to teach at university, so that time when I deliver a lecture
Uh-huh.
to them in English language, so they face a lot of issues. They say, "Sir, please teach in Urdu language because you know that this is not our first language. So you are delivering a lecture in English, so it's a very difficult thing for us to catch you. So please, whatever you are speaking in English language, please do translate and make it easier for us so that we understand that what the ideas you're sharing. At the same time, do tell us about whether that is a part of your paper as well, because you're also going to make a paper as well. So whether the questions that you are teaching right now in the class would be the part of paper as well or not. If it is not in the paper, so please don't spend too much time on that lecture, because we just want to learn those important things. Because when you're teaching to the matric level, the 9th and 10th grade, or when you're teaching at first year and second year, so that time, like in first year and second year, that time it's a different situation, different tactics. Most probably the students have to learn whole syllabus. But whereas when you are teaching at university, because there are a semester system, and in semester system I have to conduct their midterm and then
Uh-huh.
a final term. And in midterm, whatever I have had teach them in 2 months, so I have to tell them that these are the few questions. From them, I will conduct your midterm. And
I
in the
see.
next 2 months, I will be teaching you based on final term. So I will be teaching these 5 to 6 or 7 to 8 questions. So that time they are well prepared about that. So these are the important questions. So we will be preparing, and
I
definitely
see.
that would be the part of the
Okay, I
syllabus.
got it. Thank you.
So
Thank you very much, Mr. Mudassar. I want to ask you another question about the language education. Uh, if you have a if you have a chance to change one thing about language education in Pakistan, what would you change?
I feel that in many institutions in Pakistan at primary level, so English, the teachers are not teaching in English language. The
Oh, I
teachers
see.
are teaching in their mother language, like Urdu. So that time, and even in the restrict areas, the teachers are teaching in Punjabi language. So sometimes it becomes difficult. So suddenly, when they have to switch, and suddenly at the age of 14 or 15, they have to learn English language. So it becomes very difficult. In our mind, so we have two hemispheres. There, one hemisphere closed, and one remain open.
Yeah,
That time at the age of 12 and 13 years, that one hemisphere closed. So when it closes, so the capacity of right hemisphere remains for 5% for accepting the things. It's a difficult thing. So left hemisphere that works for 95% that closed. So and I feel that if you start teaching in English language from a very beginning, something like at the age of nursery, the teachers are something like playgroup, I would say, start teaching them in English. The teachers who are teaching to the kids, like the playgroup, nursery, prep, 1, 2, at that grades, the teachers have to teach in English language. There should be no any other language. There should be no any other
I
language.
see.
If they are teaching
Mm-hmm.
another language, then definitely they would be facing. There would be convenient that at least we know about the language, so it's so easier. So then, if that is not allowed to teach only in a one language, that is English, so then there is a proper environment, and when they gain proper environment, and definitely then, and I would say that they would be on the right track. Because right now they're on the wrong track, whereas I feel, because they have to learn Punjabi, Urdu, and then English, and then they still, because all the time after the completion of masters, they are doing what? Preparing for IELTS, and it becomes difficult for them to prepare IELTS, because they haven't gone through from reading, writing, listening, and speaking for skills, because they haven't gone through from before that, because all those things they have been studying Urdu language, even though the subject is in English, but still they are just trying to find out the to GTM method, that is grammar translation method. They have been applying those things till the master's level. So after
I
that,
see.
suddenly
Mm-hmm.
it becomes difficult. So I personally feel that that should be implemented over there in different schools, that start teaching from the very beginning, that the teachers should not allow to teach in other language. If you want to teach them in English, so then teach them in English from the very beginning, and there would be a
I
proper
see.
environment
Mm-hmm.
till their classrooms. So when their school closed, then they can go outside and they can speak while going back at home. They can speak
I
of the
see.
language. But when they are at school, they are not allowed to speak other languages than uh, only they could be allowed to speak English language,
English.
not other
Mm-hmm.
languages.
Other
If
languages. I
this
got it.
is implemented, definitely they can learn more, and definitely this thing is being practiced in different countries and sorry, different
Yeah.
schools, something like, and different countries as well, different schools in Pakistan. So I just want to quote example over here that there are different institutions who are following Cambridge system, something like City School, Beacon House, Learning Alliance, Schools, the
Interesting.
IBY. So these are
Mm-hmm.
the in which in these institutions the teachers are teaching all to all in English language. They are not allowed to speak a single word of, and when they pass their O levels, so they all together are different students. They are very
Oh.
much, you know, quick-witted. They are very outspoken and all that. But as those students who are doing somewhat like a matric after doing 9th, 10th grade, and
Uh-huh.
suddenly it is said to them that speak something in English for about any topic, so it becomes difficult for them to speak because they are unable to speak a sentence. Even though after speaking few sentences, one or two sentences, they would stop because they are not used to speak in English language. That's the thing. So I feel that that method should be applied to teach the students. Then they can be on the right track. So whereas I
I see.
personally feel.
Wow, it's really interesting. I mean, not interesting, and it's very, the things that you change, it really affect their language education. And I hope you will have a chance to do that one day, Mr. Mudassar. Okay, thank you very much. Uh, in our life, we always take some people as a role model. In our life, we always take some people as our role model, and we follow their steps, and we try to, to be, good, and we try to be useful for the people like our role models. And when you think about yourself, who is your role model, or if you're more than one model, who are your role models and who inspires you about your job, about your life?
Well, as I just told you that because my parents both were government teachers, so they just told me from the very beginning because they just told me that how to, because when I was a child, so I used to study from their institutions where they used to teach. So that's it when they just because the how they used to teach, that is for me as a role model, because but
Uh-huh.
especially parents, especially teachers, definitely apart from them, there is no any teachers who can be a role model, especially when you're at home in your family, so who are just guiding you and providing you all that assistance that needs. So definitely I just got that thing from my home, and then later on when start learning from different good teachers, I also got good teachers. So there are being a teacher, so I all the teachers who have been teaching me, so I really admire and like them, because never ever in complain that he was not a good teacher and he is a bad teacher and he is, I never, I always do appreciate, because every teacher used to teach his own method and first, and the way of teaching. So that's why because whoever has taught me a single word, I really appreciate and respect that one. And I really like and admire and still remember them always, that his name was this and that, because these days students forget their teacher's name, because but I still remember the name of all teachers who used to teach me from very beginning, from first class till and the last. So I still remember all of them by name. So even though
Wonderful,
after teaching,
wonderful.
so yes, but if you ask any student nowadays, that after the completion of 2 years, after the completion of schooling, so when they do some other thing, something like they're studying at university, so they return back to the institution. They simply ask, "What was his name? So he used to teach us English. So would you please tell me something? What his name?" Okay, yes, sir. Yes, I got it. His name was Mudassar. Yes. Okay, that's it. This is somehow, in new generation, they are following these things. They are just forgetting, because they are too much busy on social medias. They have forget Even though if they, if they do not meet daily on their parents, they may forget the name of their parents as well because they have to go back to
You are right.
meet the parents on every day. Therefore, they're remembering their parents' name. Otherwise, they may forget.
No, you are
So this is
right.
somehow I
I
got
got
it.
it. Thank you. Thank you very much for, the giving this, the information to us about your role model. The Mr. The time flies and we cannot, the guess the future and we don't know what's gonna happen in the future. So when you think about yourself, all right, and how do you see yourself in 10 years? Will you still be a teacher or will you still, the work at the university or will you try another job or jobs?
Aster, if I would remain in Pakistan, so definitely I'll be remain associated with the teaching profession. If I could get another opportunity while going any other part of the world, then definitely I will be switching my job because I just want to become, you know, in teaching field we have money as well, but in nowadays I realize that in the other professions, the different other things, so they are in business and especially so there are a lot more money. So rather just when you're doing
You're
a
right.
job, so you can't meet the expenses.
Uh-huh.
But if you're doing business, you can do whatever you like. So if I got second life, so then I will be not choosing teaching because I'm getting associated for a long. So therefore, I just want to quit because I just know one art that is the teaching. So therefore, I would remain associated with that only. But if I got an opportunity to go somewhere, another country, so definitely I'll be switching my job to another because I would adopt that job in which I would have more money instead of doing something like doing job as a teaching or anything. Because I just work for that. Because if you have money, you have everything. If you don't have money, you have even you have money, you have respect. If you don't have money, you have nothing. So in this way, I will try
You're
to
right.
find out. As I used to discuss that topic as well. That if you have money, you have honey. If you don't have money, you don't have honey. So in this way, I
You're
always tell myself that.
you're right.
So
You're right.
yes, so that is the way, that's the thing. Because if you want to, if you will be rich, definitely the world would be of yours. If you remain poor, the world would never remember you, even though after you die, whether you live or die, people no bother. If you are rich, whether you alive or whether you died, so people would remember you for a long time, and you would be identifiable around the world that he was a rich. Just like as we can remember, Bill Gates is the richest person, and he's well known in the world. At the same time,
Yeah, you're
all
right.
those yes, at the same time, in other countries, something like Tata company or something like another in or any other country. So there, where everyone who is rich, he is recognizable. But you might have rarely seen the name of the teachers who are there, even though a lot of very efficient teachers who have spent their whole life, they are not remembered as much as those people who have more money. So therefore, that's because money have power. So the money, with the help of money, so you can, your world can be yours. But if you don't have money, you are no more in the world even. So this
Yeah,
is somehow I just personally
I
feel.
got it.
So
I got
that's
it.
why. But
Thank
still, I feel that teaching is a sacred profession and a profession of prophets and really respect and give. I feel honored. I got a great exposure, respect, identity, and all that. But still, because if you want to become rich, if you want to do some job, a business, if you do some job, you can't become rich. If you will do some business, definitely you will be among the stars. So that's why just looking forward as well. So good actions are just important. Just money is important. But
I
I feel
see.
that money is more important. But I personally feel that money is more important than because these days, if you have money, you can establish a university and you can hire
Exactly.
a teachers as well. You can hire a
You're
teachers as
right.
well if you want.
You are right.
So
You're right. Money talks.
yes,
I see. I
definitely,
got it.
definitely. So
Got it. Thank you. Thank you
this is
very much.
somehow, my personal insight, personal insight or catharsis I have shared with you, whatever I innerly feel that just because money values, money powers. And with the help
Exactly.
of money, you can have everything. And if you don't have money, you don't have anything.
I see. I got it. And the other audiences also agree with you as you see that. They completely agree. It's like a tragedy, but they agree with you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Mudassar. We have sometimes we face, there's some challenging situations or difficult situations. And that times when that time comes and we say, oh, I wish I could have a, a superpower so I could easily, solve my problem or I could easily, with the problem. When you think about this for your classroom, all right, if you could have one superpower to use it in the classroom, what would it be and how would it help you?
What? Sorry, could not get your point again. Please repeat the question.
Okay, and I asked that if you could have one superpower to use in the classroom, what would it be and how would it help you?
I I feel that super power something when you're teaching in the class, so that it of I would say simply that control dynamics. If you learn that how to control the class, that is a superpower. I would personally feel that if you have ethics to teach the same time, somewhat like yes, I personally feel that there should be a well-equipped classrooms when you are teaching to the students, that all the students will be well equipped. Every individual student must have some gadgets in their hands, something like those important tools in which you are teaching. If you are going to presenting your multimedia presentation, so at least they must have access to all those information, whatever you are delivering
Uh-huh.
on the stage. So every individual should have. It is not something like you are reading from the book and you are just sharing. I personally feel that if I got the superpower in this regard, I would equip the classrooms. I would facilitate the students. I would 100% provide every individual opportunity, whatever they need at the moment, to find out the things, find out the exact ways that they should have to follow. So I personally feel that classroom should be well equipped. Our students should be well equipped. The students should be mentally prepared over there. That at least they are attentively listening the lecture comprehensively and attentively.
I see.
So this is
Thank
some of
you. Thank you very much. I got it for your superpower, Mr. Mudassar. Thank you very much. And think that we finished the interview and you step outside your home, okay? And you find a lottery ticket, that ends up winning $100 million. What would you do? But be honest.
uh, as I have already shared that I will just the money I will try to spend that by starting a new business in which I can earn more money. Just with the help of that money, I will do how I can make it double. How I can do start a business and make it wider and wider, or enhancing it by doing different types of trade or different things in which I can make it more and more. So that would be my top priority. Not something like I'm having and that is sufficient for me. No, no, no.
Uh-huh.
I will have to provide an opportunities for the newcomers. I will try to provide the facilities for the rest of the others youngsters, that at least they would join that industry or that factory or whatever the firm you would introduce. That time I would invite that please come and join. I'm here to provide you assistance and jobs for you. So if you would like to do jobs, so you are more than welcome, because I have been suffering in that context when I start joining. When I was just finding my job, I still remember in the beginning, in something like in 2000, after the completion of masters in 2012 and 13, those days, even though I had my own institution, and later on when I started doing searching my job, so it is
Uh-huh.
difficult time on the new learners, the new graduates. So that time, so I will provide them assistance, so at least they can start and they have a good start, because in these days a lot of people, they are recommended only those people who are having a good experience, so they got job, and those people who are fresh, they are not accepted. It is said to them that you are fresh, and we won't accept you because you are a new learner, you have recently completed your degree. So how you can justify, because you have, at least you have a 5 years experience, you have a 10 years experience, then we will hire you. But those beginners who have recently completed their degrees, but they are not in this position to do job, so I just invite them, just please come in that institution. I will provide you an internship, and I will provide you a job as well for you. In this way, you will be able to do something
I got it.
by
Thank
your
you.
own. Yes.
Uh-huh. I see. Thank you very much for your wonderful plans with that money. Thank you. I hope to make that dreams come true as soon as possible. Okay. And so now you know that the time flies, and now I'm going to ask you my last and the most difficult one, all right? The question. And I'm asking the question now. Okay. What is your motto?
So I most probably I have already shared with you by having discussion on that. I'm looking forward just to have looking forward toward my future goals. Something like, as I'm just looking forward to go abroad. That is just want to establish my own business. So that is my motto, and I just looking forward toward that as well. Because if I'm getting associated with my own in that job, in with what I'm currently doing that, so that is, I feel, not sufficient for me, because in Pakistan, if I remain over here, so I can't save money, because in Pakistan, whatever I'm earning, that is just I'm spending on me. So the same situation is over there. Teachers who are teaching in Turkey as well, because I got
Yeah.
associated with the teachers who are teaching in Turkey. So they are also saying that they are not saving money as it should be
You're
saved.
right.
So that's the thing. That's the thing. So that's the thing, that I just want to save my money when I would got retired. Like after the age of 60, after the age of 60, everyone retires. So when there would be a age of 60, so that time I must have a sufficient amount of money. By at least I will be at my home, and I can live at least for 10 years more, because most probably we are human beings, and after the age of 70, most probably people are become helpless. So that time I feel that that is a situation, that is a stage in which we must have save something against a rainy day. Our proverb, save
Right.
something against a rainy day. So rainy day
I
is the
got
age
it.
of after the 60s. So that time you must have some savings at that specific age limit. So I feel that if I would have money, and this is my direction that I'm just telling you. You can also call it a motto or whatever you want to say it. That I'm just looking forward and thinking toward that. I just want to get money. I just want to make my rest of life the best of life. So this is
Uh-huh.
what I just want to say.
Okay, I got it. Thank you very much, Mr. Mudassar. Okay, Mr. Mudassar, I asked all my questions, okay? And before ending our live sessions, would you like to add anything else? Would you like to say anything to our audiences?
Yes, so I would say that all the audience got connected with that session. I just want to simply say that work hard for your own self, work hard for your rest of your life, work hard to achieve whatever you want to achieve in your life, because life is one time offer. You will not come again. So try to spend it in a significant way,
Uh-huh.
do something that would remain everlasting. At least after your departure from this universe, the people would remember you for a long time. At least there was a person who has done a splendid job for the others. At least you will be remembered. So then it's you would be justified. Then you just will be justified with your life. Otherwise, a lot of thousands and millions of people, they have spent their life. They had kids, they die early. Some of them they die early. Some of them they died later, and they could not do for the others, because new people who are coming, who are the next generation, we should have to deliver them. We should have we should have got an opportunity for them, because the new challenges that the new kids are facing, so they might not be able to, they might not face, as we people have faced, at least those new generation would not face those problems. That would be my, mindset that I would face. I would say that at least you should have to do such a thing in which you would be remembered for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Because as I'm telling you that life is one time offer. It's not a second chance. It's not a second, round. So in
All
this
right.
way, remember this thing that you will never come again. And spend
I
your
got it.
every day. I spend your day every day something like by thanking God. At least you are there, and always thank God that you are over. You have given me another opportunity to spend my life. So I'm, I'm pleased. Being a Muslim, I'm Muslim. So we always offer prayer and say thank you God that you have brought the opportunity to spend the rest of the life, the rest of the days that we are getting, and please make the rest of my days the best of my days. So please, this is my, mindset. On every day I just seek forgiveness, whatever the mistakes or the bad deeds I have done in my life, and looking forward and seeking forgiveness from the, mighty God. So that's it, from me that I'm just here. So thank you
Okay, thank you.
very much, sir, for your you have taken me in that session. It's 12 o'clock, but still, because I just telling you that I have to get up at 6 o'clock because I have to go there to teach the students next. And so because the discussion was lasted longer, so I was just looking forward that it would be ended soon, but it longer lasted. So that because I really enjoyed the discussion along with you. So I really
Thank you.
got things from you. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for
Thank you very much, Mr.
having me.
Mudassar. Wonderful, thank you. Before ending it, I would like to say thank you very much for your, the ideas, for your suggestions, and for your, the fruitful answers, for our questions. And especially, I would like to thank you that you spend your time with us here. I know that it's really late in Pakistan. It's all, I think it's almost more than, I think 12 o'clock, something like that over there. The
Yep.
midnight. Oh, I think, thank you very much for being with us here. And Mr. Mudassar Majeed was with us tonight with Teacher Talks 180 session. And we had a fruitful session with him. We talked a lot of things with him. And as you know that we are going to be here for the next week at the same time on the same day, every Monday at 9 p.m. for Turkish time. So until the next time, wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And until the next time, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, Mudassar. And bye-bye, everybody. And bye, Mudassar, and
Stay
peace.
blessed all. So thank you very much once again. Goodbye.